Thank you for calling me. I have some questions, and everything you've said today has been so for me, every single thing. I want to trust men. So I heard you say on one of your tapes one time when you were talking to a woman.
You don't want to trust men. You don't want to trust men. You want to be able to think about men and feel good at the same time. Get rid of that trust word. That trust word will trip you up.
Okay, I get it. I do.
In other words, you want to be able to think of a man or think of men or think of yourself with a man or think of yourself in a relationship with a man and feel good at the same time. And you have to train yourself to do that. And when you do, one that feels like that can come to you.
Gotcha.
You see.
I do.
There are so many words like love and trust and worthiness that just activate all this chaos in you. And trust is really one of those words. How do you trust? We'll tell you what you can trust. You can trust that law of attraction will match you up with what you're putting out there.
Oh, okay.
So instead of saying, I don't trust men, say, I've been offering a vibration that brings to me stuff I don't want. I think I'll change my vibration. So now suddenly, it's not about whether they're trustworthy or not. It's about whether you're practicing your vibration. Whole different thing, isn't it?
It is.
When you say, no, this isn't an issue of being able to trust them. This is an issue of me being able to soothe myself into a place that I can let the things in that I want in. I'm in charge of what comes to me. You're right. The opening was for you because you and so many others are saying you need to be different so that I can feel better. And we say good luck because they don't owe it to you. They don't even care about you. And it's not because they're bad. It's because they are selfishly oriented too. You finally got to say, I'm selfishly oriented. You're selfishly oriented. I'm selfishly oriented. You're selfishly oriented. And then in time, you'll be able to stop saying, you need to do something different. You need to take me into consideration first. Because what you're saying to them is, you have to give up what matters most to you. Now, there are a lot of churches, there are a lot of social structures that would teach that that's the way you're supposed to be. But it goes cross-current of the whole nature of the universe. Everyone is oriented from the perspective of self. And you care passionately about how you feel. Feel the difference between saying, you care more about you than you do about me, and that hurts my feelings. And saying, you care more about you than you do me, and that's normal. And I care more about me than I do about you, and that's normal. And what's not normal is me thinking that if I care about how you care about me, that you'll be able to change how you care about me so that I will feel better. That's never going to work.
Right.
So then you say, oh, so you care more about your feelings than you do my feelings. Oh, yeah, that's how we all are. Never mind.
That's great. Thank you.
And then you don't say, I can't trust you to do what I need you to do. You say, I trust you to do what you need to do, and I wouldn't ask you to distort your experience and do what I need you to do because that can never last. That's why I've concluded none of you are trustworthy. None of you are willing to give up what is most important to you for me. I've been barking up the wrong tree all this time. So what I want to do is just beat the drum of who I am purely and clearly and proudly, and the universe will bring somebody to me who matches me. I can trust that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, indeed.
Root beliefs. I have been fussing about money lately. For some years, I had plenty and I was doing fine. And for whatever reason, my bank accounts are empty. And so I, of course, wanted to play the lottery. I told the universe, I even wrote down I wanted money, more money, more cash flow. And then I read something about root beliefs. So it's all very well and good for me to make these affirmations, etc. But my root belief is I have enough. So my root belief is what the universe hears. It's as if the universe is saying, oh, just ignore all that other stuff, because he believes he has enough. And I do. I have enough to get by and all of that. So
If we were speaking of root beliefs, we would be talking about that which you know when you came forth. In other words, and your root beliefs from your inner being perspective are that the universe will provide, that you are worthy, that whatever you want will flow to you. In other words, that's the root belief that we are wanting to encourage you to reactivate so that you can allow whatever you want whenever you want it. We believe that if your root belief were really that I have enough, then any time you were able to conjure a new desire to do something new, that the means to fulfill that would come forth.
And they always have.
And so if there are things that you want that the money is not flowing in order to fulfill, then you've got some tweaking to do on your vibration.
Talk to me like I'm a child, Abraham. How do I do that, if you don't mind?
Well, first of all, you were eager to say, my core belief is that I have enough. And that might lead someone to believe that that's why you're not letting more in, because you already have enough. Now, so which way do you mean that? I have enough, so I shouldn't. So I have enough to get by, but we want you to tap into the root belief that says the universe has the ability to fulfill whatever desires my time-space reality conjures within me. So if getting by is what I'm focused upon, then there will be enough for that. If wanting a magnificent trip is something that I want, then the universe will provide that. And the way you get there is by reaching for the new thought and then talking yourself into comfort while you think it.
I'm doing more and more of that. Because I have enough to get by, I still can't go to Paris. I could go on credit, but I don't want to do that. And so I am denying myself a lot of things with the idea that I have enough and I've done all of that. And I'm saying no to so much of...
We want to start at the basis of this. You know, at many levels of your being, that you are a wondrous being.
Yes.
And you know, we can feel that you know that good things should be flowing to you.
Yes.
So when something happens that is different than what you think you want, you've been adjusting your thinking back to match what's happening.
I try to remind me.
And we want you to adjust your thinking out to what you're reaching for. In other words, there's a big difference between making yourself feel better. In other words, the emotion that you feel is always about the vibrational variance between where you want to be and where you are. And if you're out of balance, if there's a tug of war going on within you, then there are only two ways to bring yourself back into alignment. You've got to raise your expectation to match your desire, or you've got to lower your desire to match your expectation. And it feels to us that what you've been doing, and it works to a certain extent, is you've been making yourself feel better by saying, I always have what I need. I always have enough.
Waste not, want not.
And we want you to start saying, wait a minute, I always have what I need, but I don't have everything that I want. And the universe doesn't just give me what I need. The universe gives me what I want. And I don't have to justify what I want by saying I need it. I get to want it, and the universe will show me that I'm justified enough. Jerry has been having a very interesting awareness. He's been noticing that when someone needs something from him, he can hardly make himself present in their experience. And when someone just wants something, he's there just willing and ready and wanting to help. And he remembers his mother on his father's deathbed. His father said to Jerry, you know, your mother loves you very much, but don't ever ask her for anything, because if she senses you need it, she's not going to give it to you. And so as Jerry has reflected over that in years since, he realizes that his mother was sort of doing what the universe at large does. In other words, she does not encourage weakness. And so when you need something and you use that need as justification to get it, you get crosswise of the current. And that's why it feels like the universe is just eking out meager things to you.
Stingy.
Where when you get into alignment with what you want, the story that we have given, and we know you've heard it, it's one of our favorites, where if you have a little girl with you, she's in a department store, she's tuned in, tapped in, turned on, everything she sees, she loves and compliments. You just want to buy her everything she lays her eyes on. But if you have an ornery little girl that for some reason has discovered that she can't have something and she's whining and complaining that she can't have it, you can't get her out of there fast enough. You don't feel inspired to make her life better, you see. Those are natural inclinations, and the universe is not a human face that is depriving you of anything. And we don't mean to make it sound that way. But when you are in alignment with need, you are not in alignment with the resources of the universe. When you are justifying your need for something, and so what's happening to you is you're just trying to cover that vibration of justification up with words that say, I always have what I need, but your vibration isn't shifting, you see. Yes.
I had a little guy in my life once, and I remember I used to love when we'd go someplace and I'd love to have that. I didn't care. I'd put it on my card. Give it to.
So you said, speak to you like a child. And so what we're wanting to say is the universe feels exactly that way about you. Anything that you want, the universe says, put it on my card. Anything that you want, anything that you want.
How sweet.
Anything that you want.
How sweet.
There are no limits for you. Anything that you want.
Oh boy. Thank you, Abraham. Thank you very much, my dear. I know you say this with love, and I appreciate it.
Always.
And there's great love here for you. Oh, thank you.
We always appreciate you being in the chair. He always asks questions for everyone, lines them up in a powerful way. And while you resist sometimes him being there, good always comes from it. Good. We've never known anyone who has ever wanted anything for any other reason than that they believe when it gets there they will feel better. And so when you decide that you are going to contour your life experience, you're now where all of your power is. Can you feel it? Right here and now is where all of your power is. You have the power right now to think a thought that feels good or to think a thought that doesn't feel good. You have the power to do it now. Jerry and Esther have a navigational system in their vehicles called Magellan that helps them stay on track. They program the destination in, and then Magellan gives them verbal and visual description to tell them which way to go. And once they've programmed it in, if they don't follow the directions that Magellan has given them, Magellan kicks up a fuss. Magellan says, please return to the highlighted route. Please return to the highlighted route. Magellan never says, where have you been? Magellan never says, well, now you've done it. I'm not going to tell you. I told you and you didn't listen. Now you're on your own. Ask someone else. Magellan just consistently calculates the task at hand, which is the distance and directions between where you are and where you want to be. Your emotions are the same sort of guidance. Your emotions, once you get so you're listening to them, are telling you, this thought is in alignment. Yes, this thought is in alignment. Yes, this thought is in alignment. Well, that thought is deviating a little bit. Magellan, or your own guidance system, is never saying it's wrong of you to think that thought, it's bad of you to think that thought. Magellan is just saying, given what you said you want and given where you are in relationship to what you want, this thought, word, or action is not the best choice for you. There's no judgment in your emotions. It's just a simple vibrational fact of relationship between where you are and where you want to be. So if we convinced you that the only thing that is your work is the alignment of the energy within you, and can you feel the power of the alignment of energy? You don't seem very excited about it. Do you hear what we're saying? The alignment of energy within you. The alignment of energy within you. Do you get what that means? Alignment to what? Alignment to source. Have you ever had a toaster with no electrical outlet to plug it into? You say, oh, I have this toaster. I live on an island where there is no electricity. And they say, what do you use the toaster for? And you say, an ornament. It's shiny and pretty. And they say, but does it toast bread? And you say, no, it's not plugged in. And we're wanting you to realize that this alignment that we're talking about is everything. It's plugging into the life stream. It's plugging into the clarity stream. It's plugging into the stream of who you are. And so this alignment with you is everything. And once you're aligned, then you can do anything you want with it. You can attract someone. You can create something. You can think something. You can have experiences. In other words, once you're connected to the stream, then anything may be your experience that you choose. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. But you got to align with the current first. What do you want to talk about? Anything? Some things? Yes? Begin right here, and then here, and then here. Yes.